There you go, Beth.
Good morning, everyone. It is Beth Wright here of Spirit Works, and it's time for a little Hatha yoga on this beautiful February morning. So let's do it. Come into your seated easy pose, and let's begin by opening the class with one Om, which we always do. And when you do this Om, um, it's a three-part chant. So you chant and the last part when your mouth is closed and you're with the M's, you're like make sure that your tongue is on the roof of your palate so that the vibration of the humming travels up to your pineal gland. All right, that will activate that the energy for that gland, and the pineal gland is it is our spiritual connector gland. um, so let's chant. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. No. And now connecting to our higher self, having the awareness and connecting to our I am presence, and connecting to Mother, Father, God, and the great central sun, and connecting to Mother Earth, the very heart of Mother Earth. And so as we consciously connect, we can feel our energy expanding and radiating out to those places that we are connecting with. It's becoming our multi-dimensional self. And now go ahead and set your intention for your practice this morning. And once you've set your intention, bring your awareness into your heart center and just be aware of how your heart feels on this morning. Checking in with our heart. And Ruth, I think you need to mute. And now we're going to practice from our hearts today. So throughout the entire class, you're going to come from the heart. So this is something that I've really been working on. It's so easy for us to go through an entire day where the energy is coming from somewhere other than your heart. Think about when you're in your head and how that feels. Like you're moving from the head. Or even if you're walking, I'll show you an example here. This is a little example of how to move out of your heart, move from your heart. So if you were to just walk a few steps across the room and get up and do this exercise with me, it'll be interesting and fun. So we're just going to be in our heart, and then you're going to walk a few feet with your awareness and your presence and your movement coming right from your heart center. And when you do that, notice how the rest of your body moves when you're in your heart. Let's do it again. Walk a few steps from your right from the heart. Your whole being is moving from the heart. Okay. And now we're going to try something else. Let's bring the energy and awareness into the solar plexus, our power center. And now when you walk, just move from here. And can you feel the difference? Do you have the awareness and understanding of how that might be different for you as you move throughout your day? So throughout this class, we're just going to keep bringing it back to moving from the heart. All right, and we'll do a few heart openers as well. So let's go ahead and drop our chin down. It's back in easy pose, and we'll just drop our chin down to our chest, and we'll warm up the neck a little bit. Roll the head to the right, with the right ear coming to the right shoulder. Nice and slow as you breathe into the neck and open up the neck. Deep breaths into the belly. And then drop your chin back down to your chest and left ear to the left shoulder. Few deep breaths here. And then drop your chin back down to your chest and roll the right ear to the right shoulder. And then chin back down to the chest and left to the left shoulder. Just a couple more back and forth with the breath, warming up the neck. So with our neck, it's nice to have elongation and keeping these shoulders relaxed and drop down. So now let's draw the shoulders up. Squeeze them up, pull them back, down, and forward. Our giant shoulder rolls with the breath. And then go the other direction. Be aware of where your energy is emanating out of. Bring it back to the heart. And now draw the shoulders down. So just sitting here, draw the shoulders down. And now we're going to bring our legs out in front. And you'll come off of your pillow or mat. Your pillow or towel or cushion. You're still on your mat. And your legs are out in front. Flex your feet. You can have a little towel underneath your knees if you like. And you're just going to place your palms by your side so that your arms are straight. Your hands are next to your hips, but your fingers are stretched out and you're pressing down into the mat. While you're doing this, keep flexing your feet, press your hands into the mat, and sit up nice and tall so your spine is elongated. Lengthen up through the crown of the head so you have a nice long neck as well. And then press into the mat. Draw the navel in and breathe. Good, and relax the whole body. Just shake your shoulders out, shake your arms out a little bit. And we're gonna cross at the ankles and roll right out into our table pose. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And let's do some cat-cow. Inhale, looking up. Drop the belly and the sits bones open wide in the back. And at the top of the breath, exhale. Now tucking the tailbone and the chin under, pressing the heart up. And we'll just rock back and forth, move back and forth between these two positions using the breath. Nice and slow, just warming up the spine. And then come back to a neutral position with your back. Now we're going to bring the arms out a little bit and then sit back on our heels. Arms stretched out. Forehead down on the mat. And go ahead and lift your head and chest. Come back into table. And let's tuck the toes under and press up and back into downward dog. And we'll just pedal through the feet. And feeling stretch, opening the back of the legs. And now draw both heels down and bounce your heart toward your toes. Bring your awareness into your heart. Breathe into your heart. And now roll it out into plank. Plank pose. Draw the crown forward. Nice long line in the body. And we're just going to activate and warm up the core here by being in plank. If at any time it becomes too much, drop your knees down. Just breathe into the belly. And now go ahead and drop your knees down. Come back into table. And we're going to come into side plank on the right hand side. So I'll show you the modified version first. We're just lengthening the left leg out, right knee is down, and the left arm comes straight up. Stacking one shoulder over the other. Okay, so this is modified side plank. And if you want to go further into full side plank, let's come back into plank pose, both legs lifted, and you're going to roll now onto the right outside edge of the right foot, stacking the feet, stacking the shoulders, and the whole body is nice and long as you breathe. And you make little boards with your feet. So your feet are flexed and they're stiff like a board to support you in this pose. Otherwise, your right knee is down, your left arm is lifted. Good, and now we'll come back into plank or table, and we're going to do it on the other side. So the modified version, you start from table, you extend your right leg, and your right arm comes up, opening your body to the right. And if you're coming into full side plank, you start in plank pose and you just roll onto the left outside edge of the foot. Feet are nice and stiff. And this pose, we're strengthening that shoulder girdle and the whole sideline of the body. And just breathe. Good. Now come out of the pose either in plank and then drop into table, or you're in table already. And let's just do another couple rounds of cat-cow, inhaling, looking up. Reach the tailbone up. And then exhale, rounding the back. Another inhale and exhale. Good. All right, tucking the toes under, take it up and back into downward dog. And from downward dog, we're just going to walk our feet up towards our hands and bend the knees. Allow your torso to hang, and you can grasp the opposite elbows. Let your head hang, and then just shake your head out. Shake your torso out so that you're wriggling your spine and your belly is on your thighs. Just hanging here, no tension in the neck. Take some deep breaths right into the low back. Good. Release the hands down. And now you're going to turn sideways on the mat and take a nice wide stance. Sideways with the wide stance, and you want your toes pointing a little bit in and your heels pointing a little bit out. I'm going to do a twist here. So you have options for your twist. You can put your hand directly on a block in the middle of the mat. It can either go on the low side like this or the high side, and then you're going to raise the right arm up. Now here's the modified version, okay? If this is really easy for you, you can remove the block and take the left hand to the outside of the right ankle and twist. So whatever works for you on this morning. Breathe into it. Be aware of the fact that your spine is twisted. And then breathe the energy into the spine. Good. And now we'll relax down and take it to the other side. So hand is either on a block, high side, low side, in the middle of the mat, or the hand comes to the outside of the left ankle and the left arm up. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or not, there's always something you can do until you build a strength or have that flexibility to go deeper into the pose. Deep breaths into the belly. Good, and now releasing down. And here you can grab onto the outside of both ankles with both hands and just draw your head down toward the mat. Wherever you are, just draw the head down toward the mat. Good. Release your hands down. And you're going to toe heel your feet in toward one another, about hip width apart. And then just slowly, with your knees bent, roll all the way up to stand. Coming all the way up. Good. And we're going to do chair pose now. So chair pose is a standing pose. And you can either have your feet together. This is the more challenging version. Or if you have any balance issues, keep your feet about hip width apart. Coming into mountain pose. So we're standing here. Press your feet into the mat. Once you do that, you'll feel your legs push away from each other a little bit. And then feel the strength that that gives you in your foundation. And now bring your arms up by your ears. And then sit down in your chair. So again, you can have your feet together or apart. From a side view, you don't want to arch the back. You want to keep the tailbone tucked under and just sit down. You're going to feel it in the thighs as you breathe. Good. And then come all the way back up to stand. Relax the arms down. Take your feet about a little farther than hip width apart. We're just going to sway from side to side. Okay. Coming back to center. So you're going to be standing forward on your mat. Hips and shoulders squaring the top of the mat. We're going to work a little bit with some triangle poses today. So let's do the triangle pose, and then we'll do the reverse triangle pose, and I'll talk you through both of those. So come to the top of your mat, palms at the heart, and now let's inhale, reach the arms up. Give a slight back bend here. Press into the feet as you lift the heart. And then come all the way down into forward fold. And now step the right foot back into low lunge, all the way down into low lunge. And now drop the right foot down so that you have a nice wide stance. We're going to come up into warrior two. So we're lining up the front heel with the instep of the back foot. Windmill the arms up into warrior two. Okay, warrior two. You want your torso turned completely sideways. Check that the front knee is pointing straight forward on the mat so you can see the front big toe. And then the arms come out. And now turn just the head to gaze over the left hand as you sink into the left leg. Stretch through this right leg and draw up through the Mula Bandha. Squeeze up through the perineum. And breathe. Drop your shoulders down away from the ears and draw them together in the back of the body. Good. Okay, release your arms down, and then you're going to step the back foot up to shorten the stance. Now we're coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So again, your front heel is lined up to the instep of the back foot. Both legs are going to stay straight here. You have a shorter stance. Bring your arms out, press into the feet, and now draw the torso out over the left leg. Here you can have a block for your hands. And you can place the block right on the inside of the left foot. You can do high side, which means the block is long. And the left hand is on the block. Try and stack the shoulders here. Press into the feet. And you're going to open up the body, stacking the shoulders. Now here, keep lengthening the crown out, away from you. Keep reaching up with the right arm. Keep pressing into the feet. If you're not using a block, your hand can be all the way down on the mat. Your fingertips on the inside of the feet. Keep lengthening in all directions in this pose, triangle pose. Steady the breath. Good. Bend into the left knee and come all the way up to stand. And now we're going to square the hips and the shoulders to the front. That means that the right foot now lines up to the right hip bone. It's no longer lined up to the front heel. Does that make sense? So you have your feet and your legs are hip width apart and you're facing forward on your mat. Okay, coming into reverse triangle. So pressing into the feet will come out over the legs. And now your right hand can come to a block on the inside of the left foot. High side, you've got options here. You can also do low side of the block, place it straight down. Or if you have a lot of flexibility, you're using your fingertips. And at the same time, you're going to open the left arm up now and twist in the other direction, which is why it's called reverse triangle. Still working to stack the shoulders and press into the feet so the legs are straight, not locked at the knees, but straight. And breathe into the belly. Now to go even further in this pose, you can take the block to the outside of the left foot, all right? And that gives you more room for the twist. So see where the placement of the block works best for you, high side, low side, whatever. And you're holding it there, steadying the breath, steadying the pose. Good, releasing the left arm down, bend into the front knee and come all the way up to stand. And now we'll step the right foot up to meet the left and palms at the heart. And we're going to do a vinyasa. So that means inhale, reach up, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back into low lunge. Hold the breath coming into plank. Exhale, knees drop down. Bring your chest between your hands. Hips are up and back. Chin is on the mat. Elbows are in alongside the body. And then inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, standing forward fold. And now bend the knees, inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back into low lunge. And now we're going to come into warrior two. So drop the left foot down at an angle. Heel comes down, and we're going to line up the front foot so the heel lines up with the instep of the back foot. Nice long stance. From here, press into the front leg and windmill the arms up. Warrior two. Okay. So here we are, turning the torso completely sideways, bending into this right leg, and now reach through the left leg. Just finding that position first. From here, squeeze up through the perineum. Arms come out, and then turn the gaze over the right hand. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Sink into this front knee, squeeze the perineum, reach through the left leg. Good Lord. And smile and breathe. It's all about the breath. So once you find this sweet spot in your warrior two, elongate through everything. Reach the fingertips in both directions, draw the crown up, and breathe. Good. And then relax the arms down. And now we're going to pull this back foot in so that we shorten the stance a lot shorter. We're still lining up the front heel with the instep of the back foot. Arms come out, press into the feet, and then reach the torso out over this right leg. Right hand can come down to your block, and the left arm reaches straight up. Triangle pose, both legs are straight. You can try moving your block in different directions, in different high side or low side, whatever works for you. Finding the breath. Finding the balance and the stability. We're creating the stability. Good. And now let's bend through the right knee and press all the way back up to stand. And now turn your torso to face the front of the mat. So this left foot now comes to line up with the left hip bone. And the foot is turned out just slightly at an angle, okay? Front toes are facing straight forward, hips and shoulders aligned to the front. And now lengthen out over this front leg. Your left hand is going to come down to your block on the inside of the right foot, high side or low side of the block. And then reaching the right arm straight up, stacking the shoulders. Now keep pressing into the feet here to stabilize the pose. And breathe into the belly as you twist. You can also try, if you're stable enough in that position, putting the block to the outside of the right foot and see what happens. Please don't hurt yourself or topple over. Take care of you. And breathe. One side might be easier than another. Good. And now bend into this right knee and come all the way back up slowly to stand. And then step the left foot to the top of the mat. We'll do a vinyasa. Hands at your heart in prayer position. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back into low lunge. Hold the breath coming into plank. And then drop your knees, chest, and chin on the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhaling, right foot forward. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. And then exhale, palms to the heart. Good. All right, let us come back to the center of the mat. And bring your legs out wide. So you're facing sideways on the mat now. This time we're going to turn our toes out and our heels in. And we're going to come into a squat. All right, so adjust your feet as you need to until you come into a comfortable squat. And I say comfortable loosely because how comfortable are squats? But these are good for strengthening the legs, just like this, a little bouncy bounce. All right, so let's just bounce. And as we do this, keep the spine straight. So all the leg strengtheners in yoga are great for the base chakra, which is your foundational chakra. Okay, inner squat. Just go ahead and bring the arms out, palms up. So your arms are parallel to the floor. Fingers wide. And we're going to do a couple lion's breath here. So you breathe into your nose, through your nose, and you're going to, when you exhale, you're going to stick your tongue out and make a noise like a lion. Goes like this. I bet you, when you do it, you stop thinking about your thighs that are burning. Okay, inhale through the nose. Exhale. This is very clearing for the throat. We'll do one more. Inhale. Lion's breath. It's a real thing. And then come all the way back up to stand. Cross the arms. And let's sink back into the squat. Once again. Come up. And sink down. Come up. Cross the arms. Sink back down. Come up. And sink down. We'll do one more. Up. I'm going to Miami on Saturday and I got to be in a bikini. So you can imagine how many squats I'm doing. And then come up. And sink down. Good. And now come all the way up to stand. Toe heel your feet towards one another. And then we're going to come down onto our seat. All right, here we are. Yay. Okay, from here, we'll do Tarasana. And we're going to do some hip openers now. So we'll do this pose once and then we'll do it again after we do a couple other poses in between. So you can see how to open your hips. Now in Tarasana, your feet are not so close to the body. In fact, they're away from you because the idea is to line up the crown of the head to the instep of the feet. So do the math, and if I hinge forward from the waist, will my crown come into the instep of the feet? Well, let's see. Lean forward and drop the head down. Okay, now that means I need to push my legs away from me. So you have like a diamond shape in your legs. And not everyone's going to be able to bring the crown to the feet, but we're going to do it energetically. So it doesn't matter if it actually happens. We're intending for it to happen, and we're going to energetically place our head in our feet. All right, so leaning forward, and now breathe into the low back, which is getting a nice stretch in this pose, and draw your head toward the instep of your feet. And then breathe wherever you land, however far down you come, you're just going to work from that place. Breathe into it. And now imagine that your head is actually resting in the instep of your feet. As you breathe. And then go ahead and come back up. And now we're going to do pigeon. And this will really open up both hips, one on each side, and then we'll come back into Tadasana star pose. So go ahead and cross your ankles, come into tabletop position. From our tabletop, tuck the toes under, press back into downward dog. And then you're going to raise your right leg high. And now draw the right knee towards your nose as you lengthen out into plank. And you're going to place the right knee right in between your hands. Your foot comes out at an angle, and you uncurl your back toes. Now, here you can place a pillow, a block, or whatever you need underneath the right hip to support you. I just placed a block underneath my right hip. And let me show you a little bit more close up what that looks like on the other side. So if I'm like this, I can put the block underneath me. Whatever you need to do to support you in this pose. All right, your hips and shoulders are squared to the front of the mat. Lift the top or press onto the top of the left foot and lift the back knee up and slide the back leg back even further. And now from here, draw up from your heart so you can feel your whole upper body lifting. Your hands are on the mat underneath your shoulders to support you. And you can bend this right foot, which is going to give you a little bit more stability in the pose. Now lift through the heart, and you'll feel the whole spine elongating as you do this. Good. And we're going to come into resting pigeon now. So begin to walk your hands out in front. And you're going to drop down into wherever your body allows you to. So you might be right here up on your elbows, or you might have blocks for your elbows. If you can come all the way down with your arms outstretched, that is the deepest expression of this pose. And then just breathe into the space in the groin and leg area where you can feel the opening taking place in the stretch. Lift your head and chest, walk your hands underneath you and come all the way back up. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Tuck your left toes under, and now step it into plank and downward dog. Downward dog, reach your heels down and just bounce the heart. Good. Pigeon on the other side. Raise the left leg high. You can open the hip here. And now draw the left knee in toward your nose, lengthening your body out in plank. And then drop the left knee down in between your hands. Here you can place a cushion or a block, whatever you need underneath the left hip to support you. And then make sure your shoulders are square to the front. Press into the top of the right foot. Lift the right knee and slide that right leg back. Okay, working with pigeon here. Squeeze up through the perineum, the mula bandha. And then lift the heart so that you can feel the line of energy coming from the earth. And it comes right up along the spine, up through the heart. Keep lifting with your upper body. Feel the heart opening. Beautiful heart opening. Good. Now relax out of this position. And we're going to come into resting pigeon on the other side. So you can walk this left foot up a little bit on the mat if you want to. Otherwise, it stays right where it is. And then we're going to walk the arms out. Perhaps you come onto your blocks here. And if you're here, you're just breathing into the left hip. You can also come all the way down if that's available to you. Taking your awareness into the area where the tension is. Breathing in there. And let's make friends with that discomfort. So as we befriend the discomfort, we, first of all, we accept it. We accept the resistance and the discomfort. And then we offer the discomfort our breath and our awareness. And see what happens when you merge your awareness and your heart energy and your breath with the discomfort. It sort of all merges into one energy. It's kind of really nice. This is how we love ourselves. And now from here, go ahead and lift your head and chest, walk your hands underneath. Tuck the back toes under and then step it back into plank. Downward dog. Bounce the heart a little bit, sink the heels. And now drop your knees down, come onto your seat. And let's come back into Tarasana. All right, so we've just spent a little bit of time opening one hip and then the other. Let's see how that works for us as we come into this pose again. So, Tarasana, feet are together. Tarasana means star, Tara, star. Feet are away from you. Remember, we're lining up the instep of the feet with the forehead. And now let's go ahead and lean forward. And notice the difference after doing pigeon on both sides. Do your hips feel more open? Does your low back feel more open? Breathe into it. And then come all the way back up. And let's bring our legs out wide. Just shake the legs a little bit. Shake them out. So wherever your legs come out to, bring your hands in front and your feet are flexed, toes pointing up to the sky. We're just going to walk ourselves out over into this deep groin stretch, which feels delightful. Yes, it does feel delightful. So coming down to wherever you can come to, and then just breathe into the groin. Take the breath there into the discomfort until it all merges into oneness. This is our last pose before Shavasana. Good. And now coming all the way up and draw both legs together. You're going to bend your knees, plant your feet, arms out, and let's lower all the way down onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest. And now bring the arms out in a T position. We're going to drop the knees over to the right, keeping the back on the mat. So the left shoulder stays down. The upper body stays connected to the mat while the lower half twists. Good. Draw both knees back to center and then over to the left. Breathe nice, long, slow, deep breaths into your twist. And then drop both knees back to center. And now Shavasana. Arms out wide, legs out wide, palms facing up. And we're going to do a silent meditation today, meaning I will not speak, I promise, so that you can completely go into your meditation. Bring your awareness to your heart. Let your body fully let go here so we can integrate all the poses. And you're going to spend this meditation with your heart, being aware of your heart. And go ahead and begin. Now take a nice deep breath into your belly. Reach your arms long overhead and stretch through your whole body, right from the fingertips all the way down through your toes. And you can go ahead and move your hands and feet in a circle, nice slow circles. And then bend both knees, roll onto one side. And let's just hang out here on our side for a second. Take a few breaths here. Still being with your heart. And just let your heart soften a little bit more right here. It's sort of like a fetus pose. Very comforting. And now go ahead and bring your hands down and press up into your seated cross-legged position. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes. And let's bring our palms to our heart in prayer position. And we're going to Om again. This time when we Om, when you chant, just know that the vibration that you are sending out to the world is connecting you with every single molecule of existence so that you come into complete oneness with this Om. Go ahead, inhale through your nose. And feel your connection to everything through the light inside of you. The same light that is in a flower or a crystal or an ocean wave or a grain of sand is inside of you. It's that beautiful life force energy, the God force. And I bow to this light inside of you that is also inside of me. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And just know that you are love. My name is Beth Wright. You can find me at energyhealingteacher.com, which is my website for my company, Spiritworks. And also on Facebook, Spiritworks Beth Wright. And thank you so much.